It's midday. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on CoreTV News. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. The federal government has recanted on its earlier position that outgoing President Goodluck Jonathan would hand over on May 28th. Information Minister Patricia Akwashiki said after the Federal Executive Council meeting that May 29th remains the handover date. The minister, who had exactly a week ago said the president would hand over to the incoming president on May 28th, said an inaugural dinner would be held on that day. Akwashiki gave the impression that she was misquoted.
The President in Council discussed the issue of transition, and there was a little problem of the May 28 being, peddled as handover date. And we want to clarify that 28th of May is not the date for handover. Handover and inauguration will take place on the 29th of May, which is also our Democracy Day. So please, let's get it right. We have started the transition. It's ongoing. We are handing over our departmental and ministry briefs to the office of the SGF, who would now prepare the handover notes. When you have a transition committee, we have ours, and the incoming government has its own transition committee. They sit together and look at all these issues. The paperwork is what we are talking of, up to the 28th. Please, let's get it straight, that the president is still the president till the 29th of May, when Buhari takes his oath of office and resumes as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Barely a month after its defeat by the All Progressives Congress, the People's Democratic Party on Wednesday vowed to regain power in 2019. To achieve this, members of the National Working Committee and state chairman of the party have resolved to work together. The APC won the March 28th and April 11th elections by producing Nigeria's next president in the person of Muhammadu Buhari and a majority of the state governors, and also won most of the seats in the National Assembly and state houses of assembly. Rising from a meeting in Abuja, the National Working Committee members, led by the national chairman of the party, Adamu Muazu, and the state chairman, agreed to adopt strategies towards winning the elections in 2019. The meeting therefore directed all its candidates who believed that they were shortchanged to channel their grievances through their state chairman. The meeting resolved to set up special committees on the repositioning of the party. A member, Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, Ebenezer Babatokpe, has said that President Goodluck Jonathan will not run for the presidency in 2019. Babatokpe, who is also a member of the party's Elders Caucus, explained that the party would shop for a strong House of Fulani candidate to run against the President-elect Muhammadu Buhari in 2019. It described the outgoing president as a leader who had done his best in uplifting the nation's democracy, adding that Nigeria would forever remember Jonathan as a committed leader who kept the nation as one despite several challenges. He said he was sure that the president would not seek to contest the 2019 presidential election, although the people of the South-South have the right to present a candidate for the election. The former Minister of Transport said PDP's National Executive Council, the BOT, and Elders Caucus would meet soon in Abuja to assess the outcome of the general elections. Petroleum Minister Dezani Alison Madueke has dismissed claims that she had been soliciting the support of some prominent Nigerians for a soft landing from the incoming government. She also said she has no plans to seek asylum in any foreign country, contrary to suggestions in some quarters. The Petroleum Minister spoke with State House correspondents on the sidelines of the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, blamed marketers for the lingering fuel shortage in some parts of the country.
Let me remind you that over the last 4 years, I have been severally and unfortunately accused and libeled in so many malicious, vindictive ways. And I have severally explained and pushed back robustly on these accusations and have even gone to court on many of them, yet they keep being regurgitated. And I do think that it is very unfortunate, particularly when we are moving into a transition period and looking forward, and an incoming government is coming to take over where we have ended. For everything that has a beginning, there is an end. I am not running anywhere. Nigeria is my country, as well as anybody else's country. I love my country, and I do think I have done the best for my country. And I would also like to posit, please, this malicious, malevolent, vindictive libel coming out of places like Oshun Defender and other faceless, cowardly online entities needs to stop. We have done a lot for this industry. We cannot please everybody. Yes, we have stepped on toes, but we did that with the best interest of Nigeria at heart. And we have opened up the oil and gas sector to all Nigerians, and hundreds of thousands of Nigerians are benefiting from that in the downstream, in the upstream, and in the midstream. I will not be running anywhere.
A federal high court in Abuja struck out 2 of the 3 pending suits challenging the eligibility of President-elect Muhammadu Buhari to participate in the March 28th presidential election. The presiding judge, Justice Adeniyi Ademola, struck out the matter on Wednesday after the plaintiffs indicated their intention to withdraw the suits. Counsel to one of the plaintiffs, Michael Zekome, informed the judge that his client had decided to withdraw the suit to enable the incoming government focus on the task of governing the country.
Under the Electoral Act, the submission of certificates ended on the 20th of December 2014. After that, no further document could be put in by any party. Then you go to the Electoral Act, it's under Section 31. So even if they found 50 of that, that would not have changed anything, because this case had already been filed as a pre-election matter before that day. Even if that was going to be exhibited, it would be of no moment at all, because the period within which it ought to have been submitted, 20th December 2014, had elapsed.
As you said, the matter has not gone to trial. If it went to trial, of course, we have evidence to show that the general has certificate. So when you now said that, you know, suddenly the thing materialized, as it was reported in the papers, yeah, that's the kind of thing you see that will happen. Even people who knew the truth before the election were, for one reason or the other, you see, prepared to hide this fact for the whatever reasons you see they might have.
But whatever the situation, we thank them for allowing wise counsel to prevail. And I hope that others in similar shoes will follow suit and join the moving train to effect the necessary change as people have been clamoring for.
Ambassadors of Morocco and Equatorial Guinea have assured Nigeria's incoming government of their support and improved relations. The envoy also maintains that the country has proven itself as Africa's leading democracy by conducting a peaceful election. They said this after a closed-door meeting with President-elect Muhammadu Buhari at the Defense House in Abuja. The ambassadors maintained that Nigeria has always had good bilateral relationship with its neighbors and pledged their readiness to continue same with the incoming administration. They spoke with journalists after separate meetings with President
after the election. Yes, we all Africans are very proud of the way the election was conducted in Nigeria. I think there's something that we all should learn. We know that Nigeria is a very complex and big country, but after all, after everything that happened, we have seen that Nigeria has shown the maturity that the way they handled the election. We have to appreciate everyone, all Nigerian.
Morocco is too ready to open a new page with Nigeria, and we had a spirit. The new relation is between good with Nigeria and Morocco, inshallah. It's a new, it's old time. It's back now. Now I'm see to the future.
It's the CoreTV Midday News. We'll take a break and return with more. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Thank you for being there with us on CoreTV Media News, and for more on CoreTV News, you can visit our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube, it's youtube.com/CoreTV with the space then News. The protracted political crisis rocking Ekiti State is no way abating as the Ekiti Council of Elders cry out to the warring factions for peace at an elaborate meeting in Ado-Ekiti. The elder statesmen decry the stubborn posture of the PDP, Ekiti State government and the 19 APC lawmakers as they have all rebuffed peace and treaties. Rashid has more in this report.
The House of Assembly crisis and impeachment move by the APC lawmakers is no doubt taking its toll on Ekiti residents who have called for the intervention of the Ekiti Council of Elders. The meeting of the council, which cut across all political parties, is considered imperative as a renewed effort in appealing to the warring factions after several failed attempts by the elders.
It's rather unfortunate that the Ekiti man is no more his brother's keeper. The lure of office and position has greatly devalued our age-long tradition. Unfortunately, we had failed in all these previous endeavors due to the apparent refusal of our difficult sons and daughters who are operating in the political space.
With the PDP-led state government waving olive branch and the APC stating their terms for peace, the elders advised the parties to come to a truce.
There has to be a meeting of the mind, midway. The rigidity of my position has to be abandoned. So is yours. We have to meet each other somewhere. But with one basic fundamental. There is a legal government in Ekiti State.
Events that will happen in the coming days will decide if these warring parties will hearken to the voice of elders or continue in their rebellious ways, even as the Council of Elders hope for another meeting. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
With the Imo State supplementary governorship election a few days away, flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress, Rochas Okorocha, has urged the members of his party to remain steadfast. The governor made this known at a pre-election meeting with stakeholders in Owerri. Ajibade Awofeso has more in this report.
The meeting, which was held behind closed doors, was later thrown open to all. Some of the participants who spoke to CoreTV News say they are ready for the poll.
I wouldn't want a situation that will drag our governor into marathon court cases after they must have been cleared. The Imonites are ready to go for a run.
They say the victory of Rochas Okorocha is just delayed and will not be denied.
PDP are only delayed the duty, and they have only ended up making our governor more popular. Because the whole world will focus on the 30,000 votes, 40,000 votes that are being in contention. So to me, I've been sure he has won the election on the last time the election was held.
But just as the APC prepares for the 25th April poll, ABGA, UPP and the PDP are all calling for the conciliation of the House of Assembly and governorship elections held earlier. But irrespective of this, the clock ticks for the April 25th supplementary poll. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
The candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Ogun East Senatorial District, Dapo Abiodun, has filed a petition before the State National Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal to challenge the victory of the winner, Buruji Kashamu. Kashamu polled 99,540 votes to defeat 8 other candidates. Abiodun was the first runner-up in the election, while Adegbenga Kaka of the Social Democratic Party was the second runner-up. In the petition, Abiodun argued that Kashamu was not qualified to contest the election and that it did not score the highest number of lawful votes as required by law. He further alleged that Kashamu and his party, the PDP, INEC and the state resident electoral commissioner, who were joined as the second and third and fourth respondents respectively, failed to comply with all the electoral laws. Abiodun urged the court to nullify all the results from polling units and wards where the requisite forms were not completed, dated, signed or stamped by the concerned officials. However, the media aide to Kashamu, Austin Oniyoko, had earlier said in a statement that his principal was not prepared to meet any petitioner at the tribunal, describing the APC's allegation of rigging as unfounded. Tragedy struck as an early morning fire gutted the Kwara State Ministry of Energy in Ilorin. The building, which happens to be the oldest building for government agencies, is said to have been earmarked for renovation by the state government. The inferno destroyed up to 17 offices before it was put out. Rashid has the details.
In an on-the-spot assessment of the scene, the Commissioner for Energy, Musa Abdullahi, who lost his office to the fire incident, paints what occurred.
Our offices, 17 in numbers, was gutted by fire. But as God will have it, no life was lost during the fire incident. In addition, I want to say with all the emphasis at my command that most of the offices where vital documents were kept were not affected during the inferno. At the initial stage, the outbreak of the fire disaster could not be ascertained. But as time goes on, we discovered that it was as a result of power surge from one of the offices.
Representative of the governor and Kwara State Head of Service, Dabaka Muhammad, could not ascertain the level of damage, but the state government has invited experts to unravel the cause and level of damage done by the inferno.
I cannot cost it in terms of money, but I came with the engineers, both electrical, mechanical, building, civil, to follow me to do the inspection, and I've given them 24 hours to do their work and get back to me so that I can report to the governor. So I can't say exactly this is the cost, but it affected about 17 offices, including the office of commissioner, the permanent secretary, and the directors.
While the government may lament loss of offices and vital documents to the inferno, the burden lies on it to unravel the cause, even as negligence on their side cannot be totally wished away. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
The Nigerian Senate on Wednesday warned the South African authorities against acts capable of wrecking the long-standing relations between the two countries. This exercise is as a result of the wave of xenophobic attack that affected Nigerians and other Africans living in the former apartheid enclave. The Senate also urged the federal government to consider taking Zulu King Goodwill Zwelithini before the International Criminal Court for instigating attacks on foreign nationals.
From the streets to the parliament, Nigerians are still angry over the wave of attacks on foreigners in South Africa. The Senate has now lent its voice to a matter that has triggered anti-xenophobia protests across the country and in some parts of Africa. Senate leader Victor Ndomaegba moved the motion that was not only well received, but also drew harsh words from his colleagues.
An Igbo proverb says that it's only the father that is weak that will first agree that his child is the person causing problems. So at any time that we as Nigerians are attacked anywhere in the world, we expect the Nigerian government to be up and doing and making sure that Nigerian lives are protected.
I remember the role Murtala Mohammed played and what the policy of his government in emancipating South Africa. Yet these people have forgotten what we have done, and they are there, killing and destroying the properties of Nigerians.
Some of the senators also want the Zulu king taken before the International Criminal Court to account for his action.
I pray that Nigeria, as a country affected, should initiate proceedings to cause that the Zulu king be arraigned before the International Criminal Court after confirming that South Africa is a signatory to the statute of the International Criminal Court.
At the end of the debate, the Senate President sent out a clear warning to the South African authorities.
What has happened in South Africa is totally unacceptable. It's unexpected, and my humble suggestion would be that South Africa should not stretch us beyond our elastic limit on this matter, because there is a limit beyond which the nation will not accept what is happening in South Africa. And if we go beyond that limit, then Nigeria will be forced to, act otherwise.
And since this is not the first time foreign nationals will be attacked in South Africa, the federal lawmakers say they will not assume that those behind the attacks will be dealt with. They maintain that the South African authorities would have to show that action was taken against the perpetrators of the vicious black-on-black attacks.
We'll take another break and return with a story from outside Nigeria.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
EU leaders are due to hold an emergency summit on ways to stem the number of people risking the perilous journey across the Mediterranean. Draft proposals for the meeting include offering 5,000 places for resettlement for migrants qualifying for protection under a pilot project. More than 800 people drowned off Libya's coast on Sunday, bringing the number of deaths this year to 1,750. More than 21,000 people are estimated to have reached Italy this year. Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi has called for direct action against people smugglers. It describes them as the slave traders of the 21st century. A draft statement for the Thursday's meeting in Brussels says leaders will commit to undertake systematic efforts to identify, capture and destroy vessels before they are used by traffickers. It says EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini is invited to immediately begin preparations for possible security and defense policy operation to this effect in accordance with international law. And that's it on CoreTV Media News. Join us again, top of the hour for more. Thank you for watching. I am Ebolomo Adekunle.